My child is dying slowly in front of my eyes, and I can't do anything about it. That is the most hopeless, helpless feeling you can carry as a parent.
Kirstie and Eric Austin's daughter is living with one of the rarest fatal diseases in the world.
Emma was born a bubbly, energetic, healthy, happy little girl. We had no problems, no signs, nothing. It was around the age of 2.5 that I would say I really started having that mama gut inkling that, maybe something is a little off here. She started with a speech delay and then a little bit of motor delays, like she wasn't putting her own shoes on with ease. She wasn't using utensils at mealtime the way her cousins were or our friends were. We did some standard testing and everything came back normal. In just 6 months, it was progressively getting worse, and that mama gut instinct in me was like, something's wrong.
April 21st, 2021 was a turning point for the Texas family.
We got up that morning, normal day. I loaded her up in the car, and I remember hearing, I've never had to talk about this on camera, so forgive me. I was the only one in the car. I remember it so vividly, and it's a day I'll never forget. And I just remember mumbling sounds I had never, ever heard before. And I glanced back in my rear view and I'm like, Emma, are you okay? And she's looking out the window and she's just making these noises. She's thrown up all over herself. I'm panicking, thinking, oh my goodness, you're sick. I didn't know what I was looking at. I just knew something's wrong with my little girl. And she was tremoring and moving her arm up and down slowly. And I'm looking at her, I'm grabbing her face, and she's not there. She wouldn't look at me. She wouldn't make eye contact. I immediately called 911. They're like, ma'am, she's in a seizure. And I'm just thinking, excuse me? What? I was like, I am not leaving this hospital until you do every single test and you just tell me across the board. I mean, do genetic testing, check her hair, do whatever you can. We honestly left that day thinking nothing was going to come back from that. We had a Zoom meeting with our neurologist, and the moment we opened up the meeting, you could see it. You could see it in the doctor's eyes without saying a word that this wasn't going to be good news.
Doctors finally discovered what was happening with Emma.
The genetic testing came back for Emma, and one thing was positive. Emma is missing a gene, which is called TPP1. She goes on to tell us about CLN2 Batten disease. So we're just like, our wheels are turning.
Batten disease, or neuronoceroid lipofuscinosis, is a fatal genetic disorder.
So there's multiple variants of Batten disease. Emma's specifically a CLN2. The CLN2 kids are generally between 2.5 to 4 when this happens to them. So they're considered infantile neurodegenerative disease. They all have seizures and lose their abilities about the same, just at different ages and at different rates.
Basically, the doctor just kind of started educating us on it, telling us the symptoms, saying, these children lose their ability to talk, walk, see, swallow. It was a daunting feeling. And so I was actually the one, and I just blurted it out. Is she going to die? Are you telling me right now, is my daughter going to die? And she said, yes. There are no known survivors.
When she first got diagnosed, it was a very dark time.
My heart just kind of froze that day, and anticipatory grief, something I didn't even know existed. It's just nothing you can prepare for. It just happens. And one day you wake up and you realize your entire life has changed, and you're like living in the upside down world, looking at your old life and thinking, what the heck is going on? The first couple of years of the grief and processing, I was very angry and very distraught. I had suicidal ideations, and like I said, I was like, just take her if this is it. Like, I don't want to do this. I was lost in that for too long. And I still sometimes battle, the mind wanting to shift into those thoughts. The doctor told us on diagnosis day, take the pictures, make it count your blessings, and make a lot of memories, and just cherish her while she's here.
Each child with Batten disease has a variety of symptoms.
It's like a progressing autism. So imagine autism starting when you're 2, that's like more like an Asperger's, and developing into full-on, almost nonverbal autism. It kind of just goes through the spectrum as she gets older.
She's got a little bit of the nonverbalness, a lot of the food aversions and things like that. She's had seizures. Sometimes she's a little more clumsy. Her safety, bodily awareness, that's a big one.
The way this disease works is they go blind most of the time, so at different rates. Emma's is more of a peripheral, but her peripheral has kind of, I think, receded.
Kirstie is Emma's full-time caregiver.
I left a career to be with Emma and to take care of her and do all the things. Wasn't easy, and I'm not paid for it, and we don't get disability. We don't get any help from the government because it's just a broken system. We do have to assist her in getting dressed. She is not potty trained anymore. There's a lot of diaper changing, and I have to help her with everything. Anything and everything you could imagine most parents don't have to help their 6, almost 7-year-old with. I have to be right there, caregiving 24/7.
Her ability to walk, sometimes she's a lot more stumbly and she has potential to get hurt. So she needs to have somebody with her all the time. Somebody constantly needs to be right by her side to make sure she doesn't fall and hurt herself.
Emma can't speak up for herself. I have to be her voice.
Her parents are still adjusting to Emma's condition.
Some days she goes to school, I cry almost every morning because she's able to run into the school with the teachers on her own. And I know the day I stop taking her to that school will be because she can't do that.
We both dreamed of all of these things that most of us dream of taking her to soccer practice, taking her to ballet, watching her graduate, watching her get married, all the normal things. Now all of that's wiped away. There's definitely not a day I don't think about it. I'm not strong. I can tell you that right now. I might appear strong, but there are many days that I wanted to throw in the towel and give up. This is too hard, and I'm done. There are many days I asked Jesus, just take her. Just take her, please. Take her to heaven. I don't want her to suffer. Why is she suffering? Just stop this.
We're just so grateful for what we do have with her. We're just trying to enjoy what we have now. We have plenty of time to mourn when she's gone, but it is hard.
Emma knows she's different.
Do we know why we take this medicine? Because it helps your brain. Your brain.
Now that she's getting older, you can see that she sees it. We can see that she recognizes that she's different, and that all her friends and her cousins have moved on beyond her. They're doing things that she can't do, and she knows she can't do them. And it's really hard to watch that.
The awareness when we have play dates or she's at a playground and she's around other children, she just stands there by herself and stares, and you can see it in her eyes. You could tell she's wondering, why can't I do that?
The family has Emma enrolled in Brineura, an FDA-approved enzyme replacement therapy.
Emma goes to Children's Hospital in Dallas, and she sits in a hospital room all day long, and she gets an infusion. It is putting a synthetic enzyme, the TPP1, into her body since her body is missing it.
A specific kit that's designed for a shunt that she has in her brain. And they put a needle in there and it drips this medicine in there. It's a very specialized treatment. It's very expensive as well.
Basically, at this time, the Brineura slows the progression of the disease. It has helped stabilize Emma to a place now where she's almost 7 and she's still walking and she's still running and she can still see and she still eats and swallows and does all these things that most people don't think about and take for granted.
They have another child named Samuel, who has also been tested for Batten disease.
We actually decided after her diagnosis, no more babies because it was too scary and I didn't want to risk it. God obviously had a different plan and brought us our Samuel. We genetically tested him. The test came back negative, and that that was one of the best days of our lives so far.
Kirstie shares Emma's journey on social media for support, to raise money, and to work towards a cure.
I cannot put it in enough words and never express it to the amount that my heart feels, that you just simply following my page, just a simple follow.
It gets us through our days. It definitely helps. It makes us feel supported. It's very easy to feel lonely in this space. It's very easy to feel left behind.
It's a very isolating journey, and you'll see that amongst any family that comes into a realm of this, that word isolation, we did not expect that. But it's still a hard pill to swallow. We're all in these trenches, and someone help us. Someone get us out, please, pull us out and help me help my daughter.
Kirstie and Eric are working towards building a foundation in Emma's honor and want to use their platform to help others battle this terrifying illness.
It's called the Beating Batten Foundation.
We really do want to give back. You know, we really do. Even though we are struggling and we need all the help in the world, I still want to give back if I can. Our story is honest. It is what we are living. So I am just giving you a piece of our family.
I hope we can help people. I hope people can help us so we can help others. And that's our goal with this. That's why I want Emma's legacy to be.
For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Andrea Swindall.